Max, thank you for being here today.
Thanks.
Over the course of my job as a writer here at Lexicon, I'm often reading about things that I don't understand, especially as it relates to technology. So I was reading about this hot website trend called PWA, Progressive Web Applications, and I didn't really understand what this was, so I figured let's just interrupt you, and you're the Tech Lab director. You can explain this. What's the deal with this thing?
All right, so PWA is basically a phone application that is written with web languages. So you probably heard of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Those are the language that powers 90% of the web and of the world, I want to say today. So what do we do with a PWA? We write a web application that looks exactly like a phone application. So for phone users, it's going to look like what we call a native application. And to be honest, this technology has been out there for quite some time. I don't remember the exact times, I would say 5 years. But there is a lot of progress going on with web technologies, and we can do more and more stuff with PWA that makes them more interesting. For example, you can have fully offline features. You can also interact with the camera of the phone, you can interact with the GPS, things that were not available before. So the PWAs are getting closer and closer to native web applications, with the user sometimes not realizing they use a PWA. Because something very interesting happened in the past months is that Google, for example, started to put PWA on the market on their Google Store, and Samsung is doing the same. So it means that today when you go on the market, maybe some of the applications you're seeing are actually PWAs, and you don't even realize that they're running in a browser on your phone.
Excellent. I'm not sure I understand yet, but what is the actual difference between a web app on the phone or a web app on the computer? What are the differences?
Well, not so much in terms of technology, and that's what's interesting, because we're going to use the exact same language that we already know to build a phone application, as opposed to native applications. So native application is an app that you're going to write once for Android, once for iPhone, and you basically have two apps to support two different kind of phones. With a PWA, you can use the same app on your desktop or on your phone. It's just going to look a little bit different. So you basically build one app that you can use everywhere.
Very interesting. Thank you very much, Max.